Banks are officially panicking over Ripple, RLUSD, and XRP, and this is just the beginning. This isn't hype. This isn't some wild crypto conspiracy theory. This is confirmation, loud and clear. Ripple has just dropped a bombshell with the release of RLUSD, its very own US dollar-backed stablecoin. And while some might shrug and say, "Oh, another stablecoin," the people who actually run the financial system, they know better. They know this is different. See, for over a century, traditional banks have controlled how money moves. If you've ever waited days for a wire transfer, paid unnecessary fees just to access your own cash, or been told when and how you can use your funds, you've felt the grip of that outdated system. It wasn't built for speed. It wasn't built for transparency. And it definitely wasn't built for you. Ripple isn't here to ask for permission or play nice with legacy finance. It's here to build a parallel system that works better, faster, cheaper, borderless, and programmable from day one. RLUSD is the key. XRP is the engine. Together, they don't just upgrade the system, they rebuild it entirely. With RLUSD, money moves at the speed of the internet. Combine that with XRP, Ripple's bridge asset that connects currencies, countries, and systems, and what you get is the backbone of a new financial network. One that doesn't need to beg for approval from centralized gatekeepers. And that's exactly why the banks are panicking. They've started to realize, this isn't just another crypto project. It's a well-funded, regulatory-aware, enterprise-grade threat to their entire business model. Ripple already has partnerships with major institutions. But RLUSD marks a turning point because it signals that Ripple isn't waiting anymore. The infrastructure is here. The rails are being laid in real time. And here's the scary part. For them, not for you. Ripple doesn't need to fight the old system. It's simply replacing it, one partnership, one transaction, one integration at a time. If you're still standing on the sidelines waiting for a sign, this is it. It's no longer about hype. It's about power. It's about control. It's about who gets to decide how money moves in the next century. Ripple isn't knocking on the door. It's building its own, walking through it, and inviting the future in. Keep reading, because this is the part of the story the masses won't understand until it's already too late. The elite are watching. The institutions are reacting. And for those who are paying attention, a rare window of opportunity is still open. But not for long. The warning signs are everywhere, but most people aren't looking. Most people think change happens with big headlines, breaking news, or a dramatic crash. But the biggest shifts in history? They often start quietly. In boardrooms, in policy updates, in subtle press releases that barely make the news cycle. That's exactly what's happening right now with Ripple, RLUSD, and XRP. For years, banks have held all the power. They've been the middlemen in every transaction, skimming fees, delaying transfers, and controlling access. You want to send money overseas? There's a fee for that. Want to access your funds quickly? Good luck on a weekend. Everything is slow, outdated, and built to benefit the institutions, not you. But something changed recently. Ripple didn't just launch another cryptocurrency. They introduced RLUSD, a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, but more importantly, they made it fast, programmable, and built for the real world. This isn't a coin made for hype. It's made for infrastructure. Now, imagine combining RLUSD with XRP, which has already proven its ability to move value across borders in seconds. Together, they don't just improve the financial system, they replace it. No middlemen, no delays, 3-day settlement periods. And guess who's taking notice? Banks, institutions, governments. They're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're not laughing anymore. They're panicking, not because Ripple is making noise, but because Ripple has been quietly building the plumbing of a brand new financial world. They thought crypto was a fad. Now they're realizing, Ripple didn't come to take part. It came to take over. And most people? They're still asleep, watching the charts, waiting for some magical bull run, not realizing the real action is happening under the surface. This is no longer about price predictions. It's about who controls the future of money. And the balance of power is already shifting. Why RLUSD changes everything and why banks are right to panic. To understand why the launch of RLUSD is such a big deal, we need to talk about stablecoins, and why they matter more than most people realize. A stablecoin is a digital currency that's backed 1:1 by a real-world asset like the US dollar. It gives you the speed and accessibility of crypto, with the stability and trust of traditional fiat currency. Sounds simple, right? But here's the problem. Most stablecoins today are built for crypto traders, not for real-world adoption. They live inside exchanges. They're not designed for large-scale payments, business transactions, or regulatory compliance. They're disconnected from the broader financial system. That's where RLUSD is different. Ripple isn't just dropping another token into the market. They're launching a regulated, enterprise-grade stablecoin, backed by real US dollars, held in US banks, and built to comply with US financial laws. That means it's ready for prime time, for governments, for corporations, for banks, whether they like it or not. And because it's built on the XRP ledger, RLUSD is not just stable, it's lightning fast, cost-efficient, and scalable. You're talking about moving millions, even billions, across borders in seconds with almost zero fees. That's instant liquidity, instant settlements, and no middlemen. Now think about what that does to the legacy banking system. Banks have thrived for centuries on slow systems. The 2-day settlement window, the wire transfer fees, the banking hours. All of it is designed to create friction and profit from it. But RLUSD removes that friction. And it doesn't just threaten one piece of the system, it threatens all of it. International remittances, forex markets, treasury management, payment processing, even central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Ripple just flipped the switch on a tool that lets anyone, from individuals to entire governments, move real money at the speed of the internet. That's why banks are sweating. This isn't just a tech upgrade. It's a direct challenge to their control. They know once enough players adopt RLUSD, from fintech apps to governments to institutional investors, their monopoly on money movement is gone. Ripple isn't knocking on the door anymore. They're building a new house across the street, and everyone's invited. Except the banks. The bridge asset that breaks the old system. Let's talk about the part that most people are still sleeping on. XRP is not dead. It's not sidelined. In fact, it's about to become the most important digital asset in the global financial system. See, when Ripple launched RLUSD, the stablecoin backed 1:1 by US dollars, it wasn't just trying to join the stablecoin game. It was unlocking a multiplier effect for XRP. Because RLUSD on its own is powerful, yes. But when it's combined with XRP, it creates a frictionless engine for global liquidity, something the traditional banking system has failed to deliver for decades. Let me show you how this actually works in real life. Imagine this: a small business in Nigeria needs to send money to a partner in Japan. Traditionally, this is a mess. You're going through 3, 4, sometimes 5 different banks. You're paying middlemen, conversion fees, and compliance checks. And best of all, your funds might take days to arrive if they don't get flagged or stuck. Now enter the Ripple ecosystem. That Nigerian business sends RLUSD, a stable, regulated digital dollar. The system automatically converts RLUSD into XRP in seconds. XRP flies across the XRP ledger. Fast, cheap, no middlemen. On the other side, XRP is converted into Japanese yen or any other currency and lands instantly in the recipient's account. Done. Cleared. Finalized. Globally settled in seconds. Now, pause for a second. Realize what just happened. No SWIFT codes. No international wire fees. No weekend delays. No banking hours. XRP just did what the legacy system couldn't. And here's why this is massive. Every time a payment like that happens, XRP is used. Every corridor Ripple opens, XRP is the bridge. Every institution that adopts RLUSD, XRP gains utility. Every transaction on demand, XRP demand grows. This isn't just theory. This is how the system is being built right now behind the scenes. And guess what? Banks are panicking not just because of RLUSD. They're panicking because they can't control XRP. They can't print it. They can't pause it. They can't manipulate the rails it moves on. And they know it's been cleared as not a security in the US, which means Ripple has the green light to build globally without looking over its shoulder. This is why we're seeing a shift in tone from banks. At first, they tried to fight Ripple. Then they tried to sue Ripple. Now, they're quietly partnering or watching from the sidelines, hoping you don't notice what's coming next. But you do, because you're here. You're paying attention. And now, with XRP positioned as the bridge asset for the most efficient liquidity protocol on the planet. It's game on. Stick around. In part 4, we're going deep into the regulatory trap that's being set and how Ripple is walking straight through it while other projects are getting buried. And if you're wondering, is it too late to invest in XRP? Let's just say, the real move hasn't even started yet. So don't just watch, subscribe, hit that bell, and stay ahead of the system reset. Because what's coming next is going to change everything. The institutions are scrambling, and you're not supposed to notice. For over a decade, Wall Street laughed at crypto. They called it funny money, dismissed it as a phase, said it was for keyboard warriors, online gamblers, and conspiracy theorists. Ripple? Just another startup trying to play banker. XRP? Just another altcoin with overhyped promises. But now, those same institutions are calling emergency meetings behind closed doors. Not to laugh, to plan, to prepare, to survive. Because the truth is, the game has changed. Why? It starts with RLUSD. Ripple's new stablecoin, RLUSD, isn't just another digital dollar. It's a declaration. It says, we're not here to partner with the old system. We're here to replace it. It's not theory. It's not vaporware. It's already being integrated, tested, deployed, and embraced by the kinds of partners banks used to control. Banks are realizing something horrifying. For them, Ripple has cracked the code on instant global settlement. XRP is perfectly positioned as the bridge for frictionless liquidity. RLUSD is giving institutions a compliance-ready, scalable stablecoin that works today, with real-world partners and real demand. This isn't disruption anymore. This is a hostile takeover, with better tech, faster rails, and unstoppable momentum. Now, panic is setting in. Legacy institutions are waking up too late. They're realizing that their clearinghouses, settlement networks, and cross-border pipes are dinosaurs in a digital age. They can't out-innovate Ripple. They can't build new systems from scratch. They're too slow, too bloated, and too entangled in red tape. So what do? They scramble. They start lobbying regulators, leaking FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, to financial media, pushing narratives that XRP is risky or unproven, all while secretly testing the tech behind closed doors, all while quietly asking how they can integrate what they used to call worthless. But here's the part they don't want you to see. Ripple isn't just a payment company. It's building an entire financial OS, operating system, cross-border transactions, instant settlements, compliance tools, digital identity layers, liquidity on demand, tokenization of real-world assets. And unlike 99% of the crypto space, Ripple isn't waiting for regulation. It's already compliant in countries that matter. This isn't some meme coin hoping for a bull run. It's infrastructure. It's working today. And it's threatening to do what SWIFT, Visa, and central banks can't. Bring the financial system into the digital age without them. Still waiting for confirmation from CNBC or Bloomberg. By the time they break the story, it'll be too late. Because while the public is busy chasing hype coins and ETFs, the real shift is happening quietly, in boardrooms, regulatory offices, and infrastructure stacks. Ripple is laying down rails that may power the next 50 years of finance. And banks are watching in real time as their grip slips away. So here's the brutal truth. This isn't a future trend. This isn't next cycle. It's happening right now. The system is being rewritten, one partnership, one jurisdiction, one stablecoin at a time. And Ripple isn't knocking politely at the door of the financial elite. It's kicking it in. The reset has already begun. Where will you stand when the dust settles? Let's be real. You're not watching this by accident. You're here because you've started to sense what most people are still blind to, that the financial system as we know it is being rewritten in real time. Ripple isn't making headlines for fun. RLUSD isn't just another stablecoin. XRP isn't a speculative asset anymore. It's becoming the underlying infrastructure for a new global financial order. While the public is distracted by hype coins and ETF headlines, the real move, the foundational shift, is happening beneath the surface. And the elites know it. They've had their meetings. They've read the Ripple white papers. They've seen the partnerships forming in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Latin America. They're not laughing anymore. Now they're scrambling. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you watching the game? Or are you still waiting for someone to give you permission to play? This moment will not last forever. There will come a point, maybe weeks, maybe months from now, when the bridge closes, when retail access to opportunities like this is throttled or cut off entirely. When you'll look back and either say, I moved early, or I missed it because I hesitated. So don't wait for CNBC to tell you it's safe. Don't wait for your bank to offer you a Rippleback savings account. Don't wait until the prices are up 10x and you're just another latecomer trying to catch crumbs. Do your research. Double-check the on-chain activity. Follow the partnerships. Look at the regulatory wins. And then ask yourself, what are you really waiting for? This isn't just a bull run. This isn't just crypto. This is infrastructure. This is a new standard. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Because in the next video, we're diving into how Ripple's partnerships with central banks and fintech giants are laying the groundwork for a programmable financial ecosystem, and how RLUSD could be the Trojan horse that changes everything. Don't get left behind.